Всем вечер добрый. С вами Nightfall. Продолжаем смотреть. Ой, эхо. Так, вот, все, сейчас все нормально. Будем смотреть PC Gaming Show. В 11 часов будет Ubisoft. Если честно, от PC Gaming не ожидаю особо чего-то хорошего. Но посмотрим, загадывать не будем. Возможно, что-то интересное проскочит. Правда, ходит такая информация, что на PC Gaming будет в основном про игры на Epic Game Store, потому что там Epic Game Store занесли денежки. Тем более, вон уже внизу видно Powered by Epic Game Store. Но я все-таки продолжаю надеяться, что хоть что-нибудь интересное да покажут.
This is the PC Gaming Show, a celebration of the most vibrant gaming platform.
По-моему, анонсер голос Тарки Дарджина.
All new gameplay footage, trailers, and interviews. Taking the stage today are first gameplay footage for Vampire the Masquerade.
Геймплейные ролики Вампир Маскарад.
Evil Genius
2 вообще шикарно.
Last Oasis.
Какой-то Last Oasis довольно интересно выглядящий. О, Coffee Stain, который сделал Satisfactory. 2 игры будут от них. О, слушайте, а очень неплохо. Что нового в Террарии будет. Ремнант довольно интересно выглядящий. Warframe.
Baldur's Gate 3.
О, Baldur's Gate 3. Ну, Shenmue 3.
Age of Wonders, Planetfall, and more. And now your PC Gaming Show hosts, Day 9 and Frankie Ward.
Good morning, good morning. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PC Gaming Show.
Добро пожаловать на PC Gaming Show.
Yeah, yes. We're so happy you're here today. We have a great show for you lined up. We got 30 games that we're going to be showing off. 30. Some of them will be updates to existing franchises and titles. Others will be exclusive world first looks. Y'all ready?
Существующих игр и мировые премьеры каких-то игр, которые еще не были показаны. Ну, естественно, никак без благодарности для Epic Game Store. Здорово, Алексей.
It's 10 a.m. in Los Angeles. Happy Monday, everyone. Best day of the week. Hello to all of you up in the balcony, and of course, thanks to you tuning in live from all over the internet, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you're tuning in from, welcome. We're happy to have you. My name is Day 9. I'm one of your hosts for this event. Joining me is the fantastic Frankie Ward.
Hello. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Sean. Hello.
На самом деле, я сейчас очень хочу увидеть геймплей Вампира Маскарад Bloodline 2. Прям очень любопытно.
Just remember that I said clever comments from Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook throughout the show, making you famous on the internet, on the screen. We're going to be sharing them live.
Причем они сейчас будут еще делиться самыми лучшими комментами с Твиттера и с Твича.
Because Sean, you've got a mission to put their questions to the developers later.
That's right. Midway through this show,
можно задавать вопросы по Borderlands 3, и они будут отвечать на них. Прикольно.
And we'll read them live. Until then, let's start the PC Gaming Show with our very first title from UK developer Rebellion. Several years ago, they announced that they were working on the follow-up to Evil Genius.
О, Evil Genius 2 покажет. Это, кстати, очень шикарная игра.
And now, Rebellion is ready to reveal its nefarious vision for the project. So, PC Gaming Show, who's ready to stroke a cat menacingly? Here is the world exclusive reveal for Evil Genius 2 World Domination.
Для тех, кто не в курсе, серия Evil Genius — это такая шикарная игра в жанре тайкун, где ты строишь базу для своей суперсекретной злодейской организации и стараешься захватить мир.
And with me to talk about it, I have Brian Mitsoda and Cara Ellison from Hardsuit Labs. Now, Brian, you were a writer on the very first game, so what does it mean for you to finally get to work on the sequel?
It means that a lot of people have very high expectations and we have to meet those.
Рассказывает о том, что у всех очень высокие ожидания от Маскарада Bloodlines 2. Геймплей футаж. Я молчу, я не буду комментировать, я хочу это посмотреть.
I guess I have to be the one to tell you. You're dead. You're obviously new to this whole existence, but truth is, most of you types won't even make it a whole year. We have one rule. You don't break the masquerade.
The city. We're all fighting over scraps here.
Welcome to the first day of the rest of your death. Having fun yet?
Guys, what does it mean to be a vampire in this world?
Выглядит странно. Я ожидал диалоговых систем, там и чего-нибудь еще, а пока показали просто что-то почти CGI ролик. Ну, рассказывает нам о том, что мы можем, точнее, мы должны кормиться, соответственно, соблюдать маскарад, то есть не раскрывать о том, что вампиры существуют.
That's right. So we have the resonance system, which means that essentially vampires can kind of see the emotional resonance of human beings.
Прикольно, то есть можно будет смотреть эмоциональное состояние людей, и в зависимости от того, какое эмоциональное состояние, разные бафы, насколько я понимаю.
And that can give you like extra boost.
Да. То есть, если, допустим, напуганный, он там тебе даст что-то одно, если он там злой, то он даст что-то другое. Прикольно, интересно.
Very fragile, very volatile relationships, very mature relationships, so it's going to be a fun time.
And one thing that was really intriguing to me when I was learning about this game is you don't just get bitten and turn into Nosferatu, Dracula or Brad Pitt. And to be honest, I think you should maybe put
задает вопрос, почему Носферату не будет.
Definitely playing it. You actually have to adjust to your environment to becoming a vampire.
That's right. So essentially, in the game, when you were made as a vampire, sort of very young vampire, a lot of other vampires were made at the same time in this thing called the mass embrace. And that means that essentially they're having a less lucky time than you in the world. You're having a relatively good time compared to them because they don't know what they're doing. They're going through vampire puberty.
Ну, короче, рассказывает о том, что хоть мы и молодой вампир, но большинство тех, которые мы встретим, они будут массовое обращение, они будут как подростки, то есть ничего не понимают, больше сосредоточены на питье крови.
And Brian, the first game came out in 2004. You've been waiting 15 years for this. Any pressure?
Yeah, tons of pressure. But yeah, we're going to make it worth it.
Well, you know what? I think there are people around the world watching this, and of course the audience here, and they all can't wait to play this game. Can you wait, guys? There you go. So I think you've convinced everyone here now. When are we going to be able to play the game?
We're going Q1 next year.
Fantastic. And when can we learn more?
Bloodlines2.com.
Короче, ничего толком не сказали, только то, что в следующем году геймплей особо не показали, если честно, что-то я оверхайпнулся немножко.
Have you ever wanted to play Dwarf Fortress in space? Starmancer is a space station sim from Ominux Games and Chucklefish. After a catastrophe on Earth, humanity has launched a desperate attempt to find refuge among the stars. Your task is to manage a colony capable of sustaining life, crafting components, controlling colonists, and sending out crews to mine asteroids. But when you're living in space, there can be big consequences for even the smallest mistakes. Let's take a look at the brand new gameplay.
Chucklefish, если кто не в курсе, это те, кто сделали Starbound. Любопытно. Dwarf Fortress в космосе, это будет что-то интересное. Если еще и графика нормальная для восприятия, так это вообще круто будет. А, ну это почти тот же самый Dungeon Keeper получается, что ли? Нет, если честно, немножко сомнительно выглядит, точнее. Starmancer называется. Уже предлагают бета-доступ.
Our next guests both started as modders, and now
наши гости это бывшие модеры, но теперь они управляют своей студией.
From Tripwire, John Gibson, and from Torn Banner, Steve Piggott.
Чувачки с Tripwire. Чужие неинтересно покажут.
Now I understand. Both of you started as modders, working independently, running your own studios. Talk to me about the collaboration that you started together.
Yeah, Steve. So we've known the Torn Banner guys for a long time, even giving them some advice when they were modders, going commercial, helping them not make the mistakes that we made. And we've been friends, and we've always wanted to work together. And now we've sort of formed this independent, former mod team, professional super group to get an awesome game out to fans.
Это те, кто сделали Red Orchestra, Killing Floor.
We've always been really close with Tripwire, and we really respect their games. We see them as one of the few studios that's bringing true innovation to the FPS genre, and that's what we're all about as well.
А, Chivalry 2.
Так, collaboration between Torn Banner and Tripwire.
А в чем смысл Chivalry 2, если вышел Mordhau буквально вот недавно? Да, спорная вещь, на самом деле. Вот буквально недавно вышел Mordhau, он шикарен. И, если честно, я особо не вижу смысла в Chivalry, тем более в 2020 году. Сомнительная вещь, если честно.
Oh, talk to me about Chivalry 2, Steve.
Well, Chivalry 2 is about bringing players into their favorite medieval movie battle scenes. And our flagship game mode, Team Objective, does that by having players complete medieval objectives like sieging castles, raiding villages.
Режим, который позволяет, как на глобальной карте, штурмовать замки, захватывать деревни. То есть ты не просто сражаешься, а ты захватываешь, сжигаешь, убиваешь крестьян и так далее. Ну,
it's really about letting the player experience every iconic moment of the era. And on top of that, this time around, we've increased the player count scale to about 2.5 times what the previous game was. 64 players. And on top of that increased scale, we've added horses, which really allows us to add a lot of drama to the game and bring experiences like the Battle of the Bastards from Game of Thrones.
Don't worry, we'll ignore the last season. Just Battle of the Bastards is going to be in the game.
Была шуточка про игнорирование последнего сезона.
Chivalry 2. I mean, I know it's a really critical element.
Yeah, and this time around, we've completely revamped. I mean, we really view what we're doing here as bringing a true sequel in every sense.
Yeah.
We've attempted to completely revamp the combat, movement, and animation system.
То есть они сейчас рассказывают о том, что они полностью переделали боевую систему, анимацию, все. То есть чтобы это все было, можно было прочитать движение, чтобы было честно и что ты ожидаешь там. Вес ударов, когда ты бьешь по природному рыцарю, но при этом это все до сих пор очень подвижно и перетекающе.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask about the fluidity, because in a lot of melee combat games, you hit a button and there's like a full animation swing and then you sort of reset, so it's kind of these discrete, chunky times. I understand that in Chivalry 2, the swordplay operates differently than that.
Yeah, we kind of think of it like when you're swimming, where you're kind of constantly using both arms at the same time. And a core part of our focus this time around has been making it so that players can fight multiple opponents at the same time.
Ну, то есть они переделывают систему, чтобы можно было сражаться с несколькими сразу. То есть получается так, что не одна анимация на все движение, а там несколько их можно прерывать, я так понимаю.
The original Chivalry, I mean, it's kind of like silly fun. Like, how do you balance the mastery with the fun element?
И сейчас спрашивают, первая Chivalry была больше такая забавная игра, чем конкретное серьезное сражение на мечах. И спрашивают, как вы собираетесь балансировать это между весельем и серьезностью.
That's an important metric to track.
And the game has a huge influence from Monty Python as well. I mean, in the over-the-top voiceovers and the role-playing opportunities. I mean, the game is
то есть я рассказываю о том, что в игре можно будет делать много чего. Например, ролплей. Или убить игрока курицей, при этом читая Шекспира. Ну, то есть, типа, они обещают баланс между весельем и серьезностью.
Chivalry 2 is coming out early 2020.
Ну, как обычно, начало 20-х годов. Ну, естественно, в Epic Game.
Gentlemen, John Gibson and Steve Piggott with Chivalry 2. Thank you so much. We are just getting started here at the PC Gaming Show. Let's take a look at what's coming up next.
Что же ожидает нас дальше?
You're watching the PC Gaming Show. Coming up.
А дальше нас ждет планета Зоопарк.
From the creators of Darksiders.
От создателей Darksiders Remnant from the Ashes.
And more trailers,
interviews,
and gameplay footage.
Клево, геймплей причем покажут. Какая-то интересная концептуальная игра Мозаик. Причем, судя по всему, от создателей Inside и Little Nightmare.
That was a brand new trailer for Mosaic, a dark and atmospheric adventure game coming later this year from developer Killblight and publisher Raw Fury. So how are you guys enjoying it so far? There's been some swords, some space stations, vampire puberty. We're listening to your reactions to the PC Gaming Show throughout the entire broadcast, no matter what platform you're watching and ranting on, so keep them coming. Our next game is a ghost-themed multiplayer hide-and-seek game inspired by a popular mod. Charge up your proton packs and get ready for Midnight Ghost Hunt.
Какая-то игра, которая основана на каком-то знаменитом моде очередном. Скорее всего, либо Prop Hunt, либо еще что-нибудь такое. А, вот от Coffee Stain, к слову говоря. Ну да, я же говорю, пропхант очередной.
You can count on me, darling, if you only knew, it'll make you feel brand new. So just tell me, where are you? I got a big surprise for you.
Любопытно. Агрессивный пропхант. То есть пропы могут еще и в ответочку по башке надавать. Любопытно. Интересно.
Joining me on the stage to talk about Midnight Ghost Hunt is the dynamic one-man team. Creative director, programmer, designer, it's Sam Malone!
Thank you for having me.
Человек-оркестр, сам разработчик, директор и так далее.
Please tell us what is going on in that. What is Midnight Ghost Hunt all about?
So, Midnight Ghost Hunt is a multiplayer ghost hunting hide-and-seek game. You can play as either as ghosts or ghost hunters, like a 4v4 format.
I see.
The ghosts can hide inside average everyday objects around the haunted house. The goal is to look like harmless furniture, but on the inside, they're not so harmless ghosts as you saw.
Yeah, and if I'm understanding correctly, it's not about hiding as a lamp to try to assault and take out a hunter. It's actually, you would do that so that way you can keep running away and continue to hide.
Exactly. So the main objective of the ghosts is to try to stay hidden as long as they can until the time runs out, until the clock strikes midnight. Midnight being kind of the
И когда наступает 12 часов, то призраки могут еще и сильнее атаковать обратно.
You know, they want to try to hide, but if there's a hunter kind of off by himself, he can quickly just hit him in the back of the head, knock him out real quick, and he has less hunters to deal with at that point.
I see. Well, what's the identity of the hunters? I mean, we've been seeing furniture flying all over the place. What are the hunters doing?
So the hunters, it kind of can be divided into two different segments. The first part of the game is kind of almost like a detective game because they're sort of trying to figure out where the ghosts are hiding because it's not really obvious at first glance. So they've got gadgets like a footprint tracker, they've got like a radar like we saw.
У охотников будет возможность следы, датчики, то есть они смогут отслеживать. То есть более агрессивный такой пропхант, в отличие от обычных предыдущих.
So those are kind of the two aspects of the ghosts.
I see. Well, talk to me a little bit about the inspiration for Midnight Ghost Hunt. I understand it's based on Gary's mod called Prop Hunt.
Right. So that's definitely a big inspiration, but the big twist for us is that the props fight back. You saw the furniture.
То есть они уповают на свою особенность, что пропы могут в ответочку бить.
Becomes like this action hide and seek sort of mashup. You have a reason to be a little bit afraid of the things that you're hunting. So that changes up the dynamic a good amount.
And I want to ask about when the clock strikes midnight. We saw the very spooky red color pop up. We didn't see what happens then. What's going on then?
So midnight, if even one ghost survives 4 minutes into the match, then you hear this ominous grandfather clock chime across the map. All the lights will actually flicker out. It'll get really dark and scary, and all of the ghosts that were destroyed actually return as vengeful spirits. They're a lot more powerful than before, and they glow a very bright red.
То есть, если хоть один призрак выживет до 12 часов, то все призраки оживут, которые были убиты, и станут гораздо сильнее, и, соответственно, они должны будут охотники сбежать, чтобы выжить. Забавно.
Yeah, usually because the ghosts are so overpowered at midnight. The hunters are doing whatever they can to try to prevent midnight from even occurring.
То есть они должны успеть уничтожить всех до 12, или если 12 наступило, убежать и выжить. Прикольно.
So we'll be running an alpha event later in the summer. You can sign up at midnightghosthunt.com. I'd also like to give a shout out to our Discord, discord.gg/midnightghosthunt. Later in the summer, we'll be giving out keys on our Discord as well as on our main website.
Well, wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Malone from Vaulted Sky Games. For our next title, we got Frankie up in the balcony, and if I understand correctly, Frankie, this is a sequel.
You do understand correctly, Sean, yes. It's a big sequel to a small indie game. Unexplored 2 is a procedural adventure, a roguelike that challenges you to fight, to be clever, and to solve its mysteries. Explore a beautiful world, engage with its
Сиквел какому-то роглайку, название, к сожалению, не услышал.
Search for magic lakes and ancient statues until you die. And die again. This is Unexplored 2.
Unexplored как-то. Выглядит интересно на самом деле. Любопытно.
One of the biggest bang for your buck that you can get when building a new rig is investing in a new monitor. And here to talk about a groundbreaking new display is Samsung's Dean Dalcero. Welcome, Dean. What you got for us?
Samsung C27 RG5 curved.
Короче, пришли рекламировать скривленный монитор с 240 Гц. Мне нравится, как он стреляет целой пулей. Зачем? Позор. Он стреляет целиком всей пулей, то есть патроном, точнее, а не пулей.
Dean, we've seen the video, and I gotta start asking. Talk to me about some of those juicy features and specs.
So it's a 240 Hz curved gaming panel. We believe it's a world first. So you have lag-free and tear-free performance. And we think that the curve, it's a 1500 art radius, is going to be a very immersive experience that you wouldn't get from a traditional flat panel.
And I wanted to ask a little bit about some of the color specs.
Sure, it's a 3000:1 contrast ratio, so you get those deeper blacks, brighter whites,
Right.
and hopefully you'll see your enemies first before they see you in the dark scenes.
Yeah, and I understand it also has G-Sync. I saw that flash up on the screen as well.
First G-Sync compatible monitor, so we're super excited about that.
Well, since this is the PC gaming show and we're showing off a huge variety of games here, what are the types of games that you would expect that 240 hertz refresh rate and the G-Sync to work well with?
Sure, so we think everybody's going to appreciate the speed and the performance, but ultimately, esports first-person shooters are really going to benefit.
Right. Well, of course, I have to ask.
Ну, в общем, я это не буду переводить, потому что это просто банальная реклама. Потому что наши мониторы дадут преимущество, все гладенько, там все дела. Но весь прикол в том, что если у тебя нет FPS 240, 240 герцового монитора на самом сильная вещь.
Check out Samsung.com/gaming240 or see us in the back of the room for more info.
Yeah, that's right. For any of you in the audience, it's there. You can go there for it.
It's not 4K.
It's not 4K.
Not for that price point.
Он еще не 4К.
Well, I want to let you know that we have all sorts of great presentations and games coming up. Let's look at what's coming up in the PC Gaming Show.
Так, сейчас посмотрим, что будет дальше.
Stay tuned for more announcements, trailers, and never-before-seen footage, including Gearbox answers burning questions about Borderlands 3.
Gearbox сейчас будет отвечать на вопросы по Borderlands 3.
Clay Entertainment.
Новая игра от Clay Entertainment. Не помню, кстати, что они сделали, надо глянуть. Опять подвисла трансляция в Твиче, блин.
Get ready to rip the galaxy a new wormhole in Valfaris. And more. And now the PC Gaming Show presents What's Next from Funcom.
Hello everyone, thanks for the warm applause. It's very exciting for all of us at Funcom to be here at the PC Gaming Show for the very first time ever. And naturally, we would like to show some of the cool stuff that we've been working on. So, without further ado, here are some of the games coming for 2019.
Сейчас будет, видимо, несколько игр от фанкомов.
Something strange is going on.
Дополнение для Mutant Year Zero. Ну, кстати, неплохая игра. Весьма.
A lot's happened since you've been traveling, Khan. We could use your skills.
Stalkers got each other's backs, right? What happens to you happens to me.
Стратегия с элементами Tower Defense, Conan Unconquered. Это что-то новенькое. Лунное безумие.
Who would have thought? My son, off to fly among the stars.
Please welcome to the stage, founder and director of Mighty Kingdom, Philip Mays.
Сомнительные игры от Фанкома.
So yeah, at Funcom we've been doing our own games for over 26 years now. But recently we had the great pleasure to be working with some other very talented developers and help them publish their games. And on that note, I'd like to introduce Phil Mays. He is founder of Mighty Kingdom, a studio out of Australia.
Директор Mighty Kingdom, студия австралийской, разработчик игр. И трансляция опять зависла.
Has been working with us on something a little different.
Который работает с фанкомом, который
делает что-то we put out a little trailer for something called Conan Chop Chop. And considering the date, it was perhaps no surprise that people decided that that was an April Fool's joke. So, yeah, we have a little surprise for you. Check this out.
Какой-то Conan Chop Chop. Это не удивлюсь, если это очередная мобильная игра будет, конечно. Ну, в общем-то, Dungeon Crawler по вселенной Conan. Очень странной стилистики.
So there you have it, Conan Chop Chop. It's a roguelike action-adventure game. It's very real, and it's coming to PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch on September the 3rd this year, 2019. We also have a playable version here at E3 at our demo room, so if you want to give stick figure Conan a try, then please don't hesitate to drop by. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Last Oasis is a nomadic survival game set in a post-apocalyptic future where the Earth has stopped rotating. The last humans need to outrun the blazing sun in massive open-world environments. Good times. But cheer up, Sunshine. This is one of the most original-looking multiplayers we've seen, with interesting ideas underneath. A player-driven economy and some truly incredible death machines. Coming to early access on Steam on July 15th. Let's take a trip to the last
Какая-то очередная мультиплеерная выживалка в постапокалипсисе. Якобы с экономикой и какими-то супер смертельными машинами. О, я понял, чем мне это напоминает. Смертельные машины, если кто смотрел. Ну, в смысле, хроники хищных городов, я имею в виду. Выглядит довольно любопытно, на самом деле. Очередной выживастик, конечно, но... А вот и то, что я жду очень сильно жду. И немножко осталось ждать, всего 6 августа выходит.
The name of the game is Age of Wonders Planetfall, a 4X strategy game, and joining me on the stage to talk about it is the game director Leonard Sass and principal gameplay developer Tom Bird. Welcome, guys!
Собственно, разработчики Age of Wonders Planetfall, которые сейчас будут нам рассказывать про особенности своей игры.
So, Leonard, just give us the gist of what Age of Wonders Planetfall is all about.
Sure. Age of Wonders is a turn-based strategy game where you play as one of the survivors of a shattered galactic empire. At the start of the game, you choose or create your own faction.
Yeah.
They include the Vanguard Expeditionary Forces, who are in cryosleep when everything went to hell. There's scavenging cyborgs, or the Amazon bioengineers who ride dinosaurs into battle.
Ну, собственно, предлагают выбрать расы, то есть авангарда, то есть защитники, киборги замороженные и амазонки биоинженеры, которые катаются на динозаврах с лазерами.
It comes down onto the planet. The planet is where the entire game takes place, and that spaceship will then transform into your capital colony, where your entire empire begins. Your sort of attempt to take over the world.
Начинается, собственно, как и цивилизация Beyond Earth, то есть ты прилетаешь на корабле, который позже трансформируется в город.
Full of horrible mutant creatures, an entertainment complex overrun by horrible robot monsters, a temple with holes in the sky and horrible demons who come and get you.
Какой клевый чувак, он мне нравится.
And I did see in the trailer dinosaurs with lasers, correct?
Dinosaurs with lasers.
Perfect. Well,
cats with lasers. No, sorry, no cats with lasers.
I'm so sorry to disappoint all of you. No cats with lasers. You have to settle with dinosaurs. You know, I saw the expansive tech tree show up in the game briefly, and I know that growing resources and tech is a huge part of strategy games. How does that function?
Right, so part of these tech trees come from your origin race. They sort of represent the past of where you came from. They include new units, new modules for your units, like jetpacks for troopers, orbital laser cannons you can launch.
Получается, окошко исследования будет зависеть от того расы, что логично вполне в принципе. И будет отвечать происхождению твоей расы, то есть там можно подстроить войска, какие-то гаджеты, там, джетпаки и так далее. Но и в то же время можно будет выбирать разные пути развития. То есть можно будет выбирать, видимо, био или с машинами связь.
I love how many details you're giving me of the horrors that await on the planet.
The future is not a pretty place.
Well, I want to ask about some of the combat that we saw, because in a lot of strategy games, the combat can be very brief. It just,
к слову, довольно интересно, потому что боевой режим здесь довольно любопытный, он такой типа XCOM, потому что пошаговый.
Maybe like a little sort of space lab or something like that. When you go into combat, you will zoom all the way in, and you will be inside the lab. You'll see all the pipes and all of the goops flowing around. All of your units, which you've been putting together and built, are now deployed. In turn-based combat, you can move them into cover, use their abilities, shoot laser cannons. Maybe you've chosen advanced, so you've got like a bunch of space dwarves and little metal suits, so dig holes in the ground, like shoot from the holes. Maybe you've chosen the Kirko, sort of horrible alien bug monsters. They run forwards and slash people and puke acid on them, that kind of thing.
I mean, how long do some of these battles wind up lasting?
It depends. A short battle can be maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but at the end of the game, you know, you've got a massive siege with like 20 units on your side, 20 units on their side. You've got orbital cannons blasting holes in the world, and that can maybe take 30 minutes.
Well, talk to us about when we can play the game.
Okay. The game is due this August 6th. It's going to be available on PC, multiple platforms, consoles, and it's available for pre-order now.
Well, lovely. Hey, what's that URL?
It's aow-planetfall.com.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. It's less than 2 months away. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining me up on the stage.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you for sharing the horrors of the future. And for our next game, Frankie, I have to ask you, what year is it?
Why, the year is 1946, Sean, my dear boy. Europe lies in ruins, torn apart by the satanic Plan Z. A brave band of heroes cast their fury into hell, but little do they know, the nightmare is far from over. Achtung! This is the world-exclusive reveal of the next shooter from the makers of Sniper Elite 4.
Какой-то новый шутер от создателей Sniper Elite 4. Видимо, в той же вселенной или тоже послевоенной какой-то. Любопытно, любопытно.
Rated M for mature.
То есть это даже не актуальный игровой ролик. Просто показывают механики, какие будут в игре. Наци-зомби новые. Шикарно. Вот это неплохо весьма. Мне это дело нравится. Конечно, как же без слоумо? Зомби Армии 4. Шикарно. Прикольненько, прикольненько. 11 июня будет геймплей, то есть завтра.
Later on the PC gaming show.
Так, дальше нам
A love
покажут
letter to classic JRPGs.
какую-то очередную классическую JRPG. Warframe.
A surreal noir adventure set before, during, and after the Big Bang.
Какую-то странную
Baldur's Gate 3 and more.
Baldur's Gate 3, вот это клево. Странно, они, кстати, упоминали Borderlands, но так ничего и не показали по нему. Или может сейчас покажут.
For nearly 100 years, the root have ravaged the earth.
Perfect World.
Assault without reason.
Очередная РПГ. ММО.
We are victims to a hatred that we do not understand. This evil will consume our world and the countless worlds beyond. Unless you rise to meet it. A trial by fury and blood. You seek the source of death itself. Prepare yourselves. They are here.
Ну, к слову, вообще, на самом деле, выглядит вообще неплохо. Мне прям нравится. 20 августа уже выйдет, причем. Какая-то от третьего лица Monster Hunter очередной, только более современный. Любопытно, любопытно.
Joining me on the stage to talk about Remnant from the Ashes. In that trailer, we got the chance to see so much new gameplay footage and new environments. Let's welcome the CEO of Gunfire Games, David Adams. So, David, I want to ask right away, for those who are unfamiliar with Remnant from the Ashes, what kind of game is it?
So, Remnant's a co-op action shooter set on an apocalyptic Earth and across a bunch of cool fantasy worlds.
And I mean, in that trailer, we got the chance to see a huge variety of different environments. Like, what are these different places? Who's the player in this story?
So, as a player, you're on sort of an Odyssey-like quest to save the world, and we really wanted to have a bunch of different cool locales that you go to just to experience a bunch of different stuff. And you start on Earth, but it rapidly changes very quickly as you get into the game.
And one thing that we've talked about before is that replayability is a huge focus of the game, that you could play through it 10 times and still be seeing new bosses, new monsters, new locations. How exactly does that work?
Yeah, I think one of the coolest features of the game is the dynamic generation system. So we generate the maps, the enemies, quests, NPCs, bosses, everything.
Боссы, NPC, все.
Yeah, it's all hand scripted, but the system takes all the pieces and stitches it together. So
все будет генерироваться случайно. То есть оно все сделано руками, но вот комбинации будут сами выстраиваться.
I met a guy in a helicopter, an old guy in a helicopter, and killed a tree ant, and we'd have completely different experiences playing the same game.
And you just have to keep going through and eventually explore what all the possibilities are.
Yeah, you can play the game over and over again to see the stuff. You can jump into your friend's world to experience the content in their world, and that's a big part of the game, just jumping in and seeing what you get.
Здесь, получается, у всех будет своя игра, грубо говоря. Ну, в том смысле,
что... a big part of the game. How does it function alongside this?
Ты можешь подключаться к друзьям, чтобы смотреть их варианты.
Yeah, the loot in the game is all legendary items, and it's tied into the dynamic generation. So if you fight a boss, or meet an NPC, or get a cool, unique side quest, it generally coincides with
сейчас показывает геймплей, выглядит довольно прикольно.
Or a magical item or armor.
Причем лут будет зависеть от боссов, то есть разные боссы, разные разный лут, причем зависит от того, конкретно какой босс.
You mentioned the co-op experience. How does co-op function in the world?
So the game's full co-op from beginning to end. You can jump in at any point, and the game's definitely slower paced, more difficult. I mean, you will die a lot in this game, so
awesome.
There's a huge advantage to bringing your friends to come in there and help you take down bosses or fight off different events and just generally progress through the world.
Yeah, well, I mean, as a big fan of Bloodborne and Dark Souls, I'm really looking forward to Remnant from the Ashes. What's the release date, and where can people go for more information?
So Remnant's coming out August 20th on PC and Xbox and PS4, and if you pre-order the game now, you can actually get in early and start playing the game August 16th.
Well, awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, David Adams from Gunfire Games. Thanks so much for talking to us about Remnant. And as we mentioned earlier, keep those questions coming. I will be asking On stage, the creative director of Borderlands 3, everything you want to know.
Вот.
Doesn't matter what platform you're on, just use hashtag PC Gaming Show. And until that time, let's talk about our next title. This one was announced 2 years ago at the PC Gaming Show here. It's a game from Clay Entertainment called Griftlands. It's changed quite a bit in the last 2 years. It's now a deck-building roguelike where you don't just fight, but you also negotiate your way through a broken-down sci-fi world. It's going to be available on the Epic Game Store in one short month on July 11th in alpha. Let's take a look at some of the footage of what you'll be playing.
Игра от Клеев. Если не ошибаюсь, это те, кто сделали клевую цепочку квестов в Японии. Или нет? А, причем еще и диалоговая система на карточках. Прикольно. То есть ты строишь колоду, чтобы диалоги... А, видимо, не только диалоги, и боевка тоже на карточках. Прикольно. Выглядит любопытно очень.
Planet Zoo is the latest game from the makers of the brilliant Planet Coaster. Please welcome Piers Jackson and Lisa Bowens from Frontier Developments.
О, Frontier.
Now, Piers,
Сейчас будут показывать
what kind of
Planet
zoo are
Zoo.
we going to be running here?
So Planet Zoo is a new management sim game from us.
По-моему, они делали Planet Coaster, это где-то строил планету про парк развлечений, и сейчас мы будем строить про зоопарки, причем интересные, уникальные звери, которых надо будет содержать. У них у всех будут свои запросы.
And today, for the very first time, we're really excited to show everyone here our gameplay video and to announce our launch date.
Oh, fantastic. Let's buy the world's largest family pass and take a look inside.
Любопытненько.
I love some of the animal shenanigans here. I mean, hippos pooing, adorable baby elements. It's absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to play it. But before we saw the trailer, Piers mentioned this is a modern zoo, but what exactly does that mean?
So nowadays, when you go to the zoo, you're not just going to see all the lovely, pretty animals. You go there, you want to be, you know, learning about conservation. You want to learn about the research that they're doing. You want to be educated. And these are all things that you're going to be able to do in Planet Zoo. And these ideas of the modern zoo is really what we take to heart. And we're going to be promoting, you know, the health and the welfare of your animals as the most important thing to do.
And Piers, when...
То есть, причем построить не просто зоопарк, а место, где они будут содержаться в достоинстве, что их будет обеспечивать, и все их потребности будут удовлетворены.
So we're obviously demoing the game all this week at E3, but most people aren't going to be able to see that. So we've recorded our presentation. Lisa's done a fantastic voiceover for it, and we'll be releasing that onto Frontier's YouTube channel. That goes live this Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time.
Well, fantastic. I cannot wait to watch. Thank you so much for joining us, Piers and Lisa, everyone. Next up, we have a very special guest all the way from Japan.
Очередные японские разработчики.
Please welcome to the stage gaming industry legend and Shenmue creator, Yu Suzuki.
Создатель серии Shenmue.
That is right. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the stage is a legend of Japanese game development. It's Mr. Yu Suzuki.
Hello, everyone.
In addition to being the brains behind the following games, Hang On, Space Harrier, Outrun, Afterburner, Virtual Racing, and Virtual Fighter, Yu-san also created the Shenmue series. And he's here to talk about Shenmue 3 right now. Take it away, Yu-san.
Будут показывать сейчас Shenmue 3.
この場に立てて光栄です。I am so honored to be here standing on the stage today. それと20年支えてくれたファンの皆さんありがとう。I just want to say thank you to all the fans.
Спасибо всем фанатам, которые ждали и поддерживали нас в течение 20 лет.
The wait is nearly over.
That's right. Let's take a world-exclusive look at Shenmue 3.
Ожидание наконец завершено. Сейчас мы будем смотреть на эксклюзивный, точнее, ну да, на эксклюзивный геймплей ролик Shenmue 3.
Honestly, I don't think your kung fu is strong enough.
Grandmaster, I...
A long time ago, martial arts were bad, but humans are interesting creatures. They practiced in secret, away from prying eyes, and became stronger. One even practiced atop this very boat. Nam-Tren survived the ban and was passed on in this way.
What did you say to me? Stop it. They threaten and extort money from shop owners, get drunk by noon, and cause trouble. Everyone in town is afraid of them. They are heartless. Hey, wait right there! Are you okay?
This is him, the Japanese guy who got in our way.
You've got some guts to barge in here on your own.
Выходит 19 ноября.
I know so many people have been waiting for Shenmue 3. I would like to once again thank you so much. Thank you, Yu-san, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Now our next title is near and dear to my childhood heart. It's based upon a game I grew up playing called Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Let's take a look at an upcoming collaboration between Coffee Stain Studios and Lava Potion.
Так. Основанный на героях Меча и Магии 2. Что?
The essence within you, it is who we are. In dead or in living, it's near and it's far. In human and armor and beasts of the land, it flows through the forests, it breathes the sand.
Lightning and thunder and crackling waves, a land torn asunder by night and by day. The Empress eternal with death and decay, to march upon cities with fast and with fade. They gather the wheelers and build mighty walls, resisting, revolting, their armies will fall.
So wield all the power of those you command, and throw out their essence you hold in your hand. Unleashed on them all, so in these final hours, we'll raise every bill to take back what was ours.
Songs of Conquest. Classic Adventure Strategy. Хо, прикольно, прикольно. Выглядит как будто бы пририсованный современности герой Меча Магии.
And here to join me in talking about it is the lead designer from Lava Potion, Carl Toftfeld. Hey, Carl.
Hi, hey, thanks.
I mean, let's just start off for anyone who maybe hasn't played the Heroes of Might and Magic series. What is Song of Conquest all about?
It's all about, well, you kind of start out with in the town that you just saw in the end of the trailer. And from there, you recruit your wielders. It's what we call our commanders. And you recruit an army, and then you kind of send off your wielders on an adventure.
Ну, собственно, то же самое. То есть ты нанимаешь героев, набираешь войска, захватываешь добычу, добываешь ресурсы, улучшаешь войска.
Yeah, and, you know, I know that part of the core loop is, obviously, get the resources to build up the township, but for what reason? Armies, man. Talk to me about those.
Просит рассказать об армии, потому что ресурсы это хорошо, но войска это интересно.
Juicy battles.
Yeah, so the battle, just like the whole game, is turn-based. So you go into combat, you bring all your troops in, and you start by deploying them, and then all the troops have different stats, like offense and defense. And
ну, собственно, по факту те же самые герои.
And then you slug it out, and it's a bit like chess, but instead of like pawns and bishops, you have like horned wands and face spirits.
Great, and griffins and so on.
Yeah, and all those things.
And, well, you know, as someone who just loves the Heroes of Might and Magic series, I know that you have translated a lot of the gameplay elements into Songs of Conquest, but what are some of the modern elements that you're bringing in?
Well, there's a lot of it, but I mean, one of them is our magic system. We call it the essence. So basically,
То есть, по факту, по большей части классический геймплей героев, но они решили добавить свое.
So your troops, they have an essence. And to do magic, you need to bring the troops with the right essence, with your wielders.
То
есть, получается, магическая система работает на таком режиме, да? То есть, у одних войсках эссенция одного цвета, у других другой. Если ты хочешь какие-то заклинания, то у тебя должны быть там войска определенных цветов, грубо говоря. Прикольно. Я на месте.
Where can people go to get more information? And as always, when's it coming out?
And late 2020.
Oh, quite a ways off.
It's quite a ways off, but you can go to
В конце 20-х годов, что-то очень долго.
And then you can play earlier.
Well, as you know, I'm really looking forward to playing it, Carl. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, our next title is an update to a popular co-op game. Let's see what's in store for Vermintide 2.
Обновочка для Vermintide сейчас покажут. Это классно. Трок едет, Чейзер не будет, ВБМ придет на Ubisoft. Они наконец-то добавят режимы сражения. Вот это нечто. Это вот классно. Шикарно, шикарно, шикарно.
You just saw the reveal of the new PvP mode coming to Vermintide 2.
PvP режим для Vermintide 2.
Cooperative game into something
Это очень
even
круто.
more brutally competitive.
Это будет вообще реально классно.
It looks deliciously vile, and surely dismembering Scraven is so much more satisfying when you know you're going ham on a fellow player, making him or her cry little baby rat tears behind their computer screen. You can sign up now for the Vermintide 2 Versus Beta at vermintide2.com/versus. In Per Aspera, you're an artificial consciousness orbiting Mars, whose ultimate purpose is to terraform the planet, starting from a single drone in your landing site and turning the planet into a flourishing second home for humanity. Courtesy of developer Talon Industries and publisher Raw Fury, here's a first ever look at Per Aspera.
Какая-то игра терраформирование Марса. Начинаем с одного дрона и превращаем Марс в цветущий сад. И опять подвисла конференция.
As we all know, reaching the Red Planet was not humanity's greatest achievement. Transferring the complexity of the human mind to machines was. So they can succeed where we fail. So they can build us a home on that distant, dusty rock. Today, Amy reaches Mars and begins their mission. Amy, are you with us?
Of course, I'm with you, Houston.
Прикольно. Выглядит интересно очень.
In the Assassin's Creed universe, our next guest sent players back in time to rewrite history. But for his debut project with indie studio Panache Digital Games, he's going to take us back 10 million years to where humanity began. Here to tell us all about Ancestors is creative director and co-founder Patrice Désolé. Welcome, Patrice.
Thank you for having me. Really happy to be here. I've been waiting 10 years.
Yes.
To come back on a big stage at E3 showing off a game.
Well, it's fantastic to have
Ancestor
you back.
Humankind Odyssey. Что-то я слышал про это. По-моему, игра про развитие человечества.
I needed a game, an open world game in which you can do a lot of things. You need a character in a 3D environment at first. And I said, oh, I'm the historical guy. I'm the historical dude. So I need an historical period. They said, oh, let's go back at the very beginning. It'll be easier to do. Because I won't have to build a city, I won't have to build technology, and I was a bit naive. Because we built Africa 10 million years ago. And that's not easy to build.
It doesn't sound easy. I mean, how have you turned those themes into gameplay?
Well, you play our last common ancestor, right, of all the big apes, and then you have to explore your environment, and eventually you expand your territory, you expand your clan, because you're not playing that one badass character. You play a group of badass characters. And eventually you evolve into different species. Up until Lucy the Australopithecus roughly 2 million years ago.
То есть, грубо говоря, спорно про людей. Любопытно.
A lot more issues to deal with than we do today. There's going to be a lot more changes in this world, so tell me a bit more about those.
Well, it's all about from a prey to a predator. Basically, at the beginning of the game, everybody's there to kill you and devour you. And basically, at the end, it's pretty much you. You're the predator, and everybody's afraid of you. And that's the idea of Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey.
So, Patrice, ultimately, what is the key to evolving your clan successfully?
Curiosity. You need to explore, because, you know, I made a game about characters and you needed to follow the story I wrote for you. This time, you're basically writing the story, right? There's no story per se inside. It's not about going and see mission givers. It's not about looking.
Но вообще он якобы обещает, что там чуть ли не развитие обезьян в человека.
And the mini maps and the little dots. It's about you, hey, Homo sapiens. Can you survive like our ancestors did? And that's the question I'm asking the players. It'll be for you to answer that question August 27th.
Well, I was
on PC first.
I was going to ask you when we can see it, and you answered my question first. Thank you so much,
getting
Patrice.
Good at this.
As Patrice says, Ancestors will be released August 27th, and you can learn more at ancestorsgame.com.
Thank you.
Ей, реклама Epic Game Store. Любопытно, там проскочило несколько любопытных игр, про которые я слышу первый раз вообще. Это что, типа авточес, который, что ли? Нет, точно авточес. Да. Сейчас, мне кажется, что сейчас новые игры все будут про авточес.
Loring Lee, founder and CEO of Dragon Nest.
Dragon Nest.
Indeed, auto chess has turned out to be a sensation, with hundreds of thousands, millions of players getting a taste of it. And here to talk about its coming to PC is Loring Lee. Take it away, Loring.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Loring Lee. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Yeah. I'm the CEO and founder of Dragon's Game. Dragon's Game is a game developer and publisher, comes from China. I'm so happy to be here today on this stage to introduce our game, Auto Chess, to all of you.
Oh, он сейчас будет
this
показывать
is
авточес.
really exciting moment for us. As the trailer says, this is a real engaging game of Auto Chess. Dragon's now is working with the creator of
Очень сложно его понимать, на самом деле.
We are working together to bring auto chess to a world, both on PC and mobile, so that everyone from anywhere
То есть авточес можно будет на телефонах играть.
can enjoy the same fun of auto chess. Now we are building.
Сомнительная новость на самом деле.
The PC version with by using the game engine of Unreal Engine 4. As everyone knows, Unreal Engine is one of the best game games, and I believe we can finish our job quickly and efficiently. And today,
ну что видео как бы ферит-то?
Today, I'm very glad to announce the PC version of Auto Chess will be coming to the Epic Game Store. I look forward to all of you playing Auto Chess on PC later this year. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you, Loring Lee.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Thanks so much for sharing the news with us. Once again, Auto Chess, if you have not played it, you must check it out. It is so fun. Our next title, with Frankie up above, I understand is an inspired indie game.
We'll find out, Sean, because one of the things we love about PC gaming is the way that game creators from all over the world can draw inspiration from one another's work. Cris Tales is a great example of that, a gorgeous indie love letter to classic JRPGs developed by a team in Colombia. Cris Tales' spin on the genre brings a unique perspective that lets you see the past, present, and future on one screen at the same time. So you'll see the future change based on your decisions in real time. Here's the world-exclusive reveal of Cris Tales.
Какая-то игра, где ты сможешь увидеть прошлое, будущее и настоящее, и оно будет меняться в зависимости от твоих решений. Где-то я такое уже слышал.
If you saw what was, what is, and what would be, would you change it? Could you make the hard decisions? And would you be strong enough to fight?
Ой, опять буферит. Ребята, это не я, оно само.
If you learn from the past and act in the present,
Прикольно, типа ты можешь
you can rewrite the future.
одновременно прошлое, будущее и настоящее. Да ладно, смысл сейчас идти. Ой.
In PC gaming,
у нее огромная
it's not
пушка.
the size of your weapon, it's how you use it. And I'm holding one of the, well quite frankly, it's a bit average, isn't it? It's just your average, you know, Glock, really. No. It's one of the ridiculous alien weapons from our next game, Valfaris. A brutal, heavy metal-infused 2D action platformer inspired by true old-school classics like Contra and Turrican. Assuming the role of fearless warrior Therian, players must blast and slash their way through the doomed citadel of Valfaris, overcoming its deadly environments and enemies before challenging the arcane evil at its very heart. Get ready to rip the galaxy a new wormhole. From publisher Big Sugar, this is Valfaris.
Какой-то бешеный платформер. И опять бифризация. Что-то какая-то жесткая жесть.
Just incredible action in the Valfaris trailer. I'm very excited for our next guest. In case you have not been in downtown LA, E3 is covered with Borderlands 3 art. It's amazing, it's beautiful. And joining me is the amazing and beautiful Paul Sage, creative director of Borderlands 3. Beautiful's a new one. Yeah, there you go, Paul. Welcome.
Сейчас он будет отвечать на вопросы, вероятно.
There's been so much hype around Borderlands 3. What's the stuff you're really excited to be sharing this year at E3?
Oh man, so you know we've talked about our Vault Hunters. Well, this time we get to talk about Mose. And she is our gunner vault hunter, so she has a big mech, so it's one of the things. All about loot, we're talking about, you know,
показали про
Амару,
которая сирена, и про Зейна оперативника. Сейчас они будут показывать ему, который может вызывать меха.
Everything I can. So Mose, again, like I said, she's a mech pilot. She has this big mech. It's called Iron Bear. She gets into Iron Bear. You know, we have multiple action skills, which means that she can equip either a minigun or a railgun or a flamethrower. You know, if you want to barbecue.
Менять меха, то есть пулемет.
Yeah, Moses, we've been excited to be collating a whole bunch of community questions. We're going to break them into two categories. First, there's a whole bunch of repeat questions that I want to make sure we get to right now. One of the big categories is about loot, because you've mentioned having a billion...
Опять. Ну не сейчас. Не в борду.
Guns earlier, but what can systems in the game?
Yeah, so let's talk about grenades, like one of my favorite things that we don't get to talk about a lot. So in the past we've had grenades that they've had like one thing, they can bounce, they can stick to different things, you know. This time we're combining like all of those things. So for instance, the other day I was playing, threw a grenade and that grenade had a bounce, it would stick, an explosion would come out, and the grenade would fire guns as it was going through. Right? So we have like a ton of different grenades that fit in there.
Разлетающиеся и так далее. Блин, походу реально сейчас пойду на миксер. О, у меня вообще сдохла трансляция. Зашибись.
Shield where if you duck, that shield will extend out in front of you, you know, so just tons of different things that we have with our characters. Class mods are unique, and that they give you skills this time as well as enhancing the skills you currently have.
То есть еще и дает скиллы, кроме того, что улучшать, которые есть.
So artifacts are, you know, we've kind of concentrated on like, hey, does the game feel fluid? Can I, you know, slide into things? Can I jump? Can I mantle? Right. So when we were playing with that, we slid into a barrel, right? And the barrel exploded, and we're like, well, that's kind of fun. Yeah. So why don't we do something like that? So our artifacts actually add certain things to movement. So for instance, you can slide faster. You can slide, and every time you slide, there's an explosion. We have something we call.
То есть забавно, то есть артефакты будут влиять на передвижение. То есть, допустим, при скольжении взрывы там и так далее.
Category questions unrelated to loot. Well, there's going to be a single-player campaign. What's going to be happening after the campaign? What are some of the beyond the single-player, maybe end-game content?
Спрашивают про end-game content.
All right, end-game content. Okay, well, it's E3, so I'll give a little bit. So we have this thing what we call the Guardian system. So for those people who played Borderlands before, you might remember Badass Ranks. Badass Ranks, you can get, you know, it's basically kind of an infinite progression system that added to your stats. Yeah. We doubled down on that. We have what we call Guardian Rank. And Guardian Rate not only has that infinite progression, but it has skills and different skins that you can open up as you go through.
Ну, то есть,
and
короче,
the cool
как
thing about that is
Battle Pass по факту.
every character that you play on that account gets the benefits of Guardian Rate.
Oh, interesting.
То есть ты будешь
All right,
открывать
last
какие-то
category we're
навыки,
going to go through, and then
какие-то
we're going to hit
скины и
some
так
rapid
далее.
fire questions. How do the boss fights in Borderlands 3 compare to Borderlands 1 and 2? I know those were big aspects.
Сравнение босс-файтов между
Right, so I think of a
третьим и
boss
первым,
fight,
вторым.
you know, like I'm an old school Nintendo fan, right? So I love huge boss fights that have like three phases and stuff like that. So now those people, you know, smart people in the audience know that we've talked about going to vaults instead of vault. Right, and so there are different like huge boss encounters
они, в общем, рассказывают о том, что они на впечатление от старых игр, от Сеги, поэтому они хотят сложные и интересные,
really
разнообразные
quick questions
бои
that
с
should be
боссами.
yes or no, very brief. First from Castore, how will you be handling multiplayer?
Multiplayer, we will basically be allowing anybody to jump in at any time. So
Awesome. From
кооператив,
MHL
запрыгивай, когда
Animations,
хочешь.
can I pet the gun? Great question.
I'm not here to judge what you do with your gun. So, you know,
Спрашивают, можно ли будет погладить
that's a
пушку?
personal question.
All right, great. Sam Wiseman asks, is Maya's new companion a siren?
People are asking the right questions. That's what I will say about that.
Oh, you tease.
Sorry.
All right, from Ironic Sanguine says, is Tiny Tina going to be seen fighting alongside the Vault Hunters?
Спрашивают, будет ли Тайни Тина сражаться вместе с остальными?
All right, I'm just going to blast through a couple more as fast as I possibly can. What's the level cap at launch?
50.
Will we get to see Flak?
Yes.
Will we see golden keys and or shift codes for Borderlands 3?
Absolutely.
Will there be duels?
Yes.
Other kinds of PvP?
PvP?
Yes and no.
Да и нет.
And also maybe.
And
Perfect.
maybe, yeah.
Weapons between your characters?
Absolutely, right from the start.
Оружие между персонажами.
And when is the damn game coming out?
Friday the 13th, 2019, September 13th.
Perfect.
Сентября.
Borderlands.com for more information. Thanks so much for joining me on stage.
Sean, thank you.
На самом деле я ожидал какого-нибудь ролика или еще чего-нибудь такого, а тут облом такой.
Once again, if you have not seen all the setups in downtown for Borderlands 3, they're beautiful. Our next game, we're going to be revisiting a guest that we saw earlier in the show. He's upstairs with Frankie. What you got for us?
Oh, акулка. Акулка.
Oh, hi, we're live. Sorry. Hello, I was just, I was actually testing out my outfit for this weekend. I don't know, what do you think, John?
I think you look really sharp, as always.
Very sharp. Well, thank you so much. John Gibson, president of Tripwire, thank you for joining us again on the show.
Yeah, very excited to be
busy
here.
man, yes.
Yes.
Now, last year, we revealed Man-Eater to the world. And can you remind anyone who missed it what the game's all about?
Absolutely. Man-Eater is an open-world action RPG, or Shark PG, as we...
Экшен-РПГ в открытом мире про акулку, которая будет себя хавать. Любопытненько.
We call it. You start as a small baby shark pup, and you have to survive, eat your way to the top of the ecosystem. The three words that we think sum the game up the best are eat, explore, and evolve. And we also have someone we'd like you to meet.
Well, let's meet him then. Let's take a look at the new trailer.
То есть игра про то, как мы будем маленькой акулкой кушать людей и прочих животных. Любопытно. Эй, на буфера. Ну нет.
Come any closer with that camera, we two gonna tussle.
Прикольно выглядит игра. И опять буфер. Поиграть вечно голодная акулка, это любопытно.
Who was that appallingly dressed fisherman in the trailer? Because quite frankly, not even I would eat him.
That was Scaly Pete. And Scaly Pete's the villain in this tale. Pete is a best fisherman in the Gulf, the best shark fisherman, or he'll tell you he's the best shark fisherman. And he disfigures our baby shark at the beginning of the game and does some really nasty things. So he's not a very nice guy. And now the story of Maneater is told through the lens of a reality show called Shark Hunters versus Maneaters. And it follows Pete and its adventures. And you know, it's a really, you know, it's a very exciting way.
Trailer.
Water, breaching out, and adding abilities to go up on the beach for an afternoon snack. There's a lot of exciting things that you can do in the game.
And you mentioned before it's a Shark PG. How does that progression system work?
So there's 3 facets to the Shark PG elements of the game. There's growth, there's life phases, and there's evolutions. So growth comes about through eating things, nutrients, people, whatever you can find. And that's kind of like your XP in the game. That allows you to level up, your shark will grow a little bit, you'll get more powerful. And then at key phases that we call life phases, you'll make a big jump. So let's say you're a brooding teenage shark, and you're about to become an adult. When you become an adult, you take a big leap in size, a big leap in power and capability. And then as you reach these life phases, you unlock evolutions that can be applied to parts of the shark's body. For example, you could get metallic teeth that allow you to shred boats, or a powerful tail that allows you to jump to incredible heights, or you could get mutated lungs that allow you to spend a little more time on the beach getting those afternoon snacks.
Just really quickly, John, everyone's wanting to know this question. When's it coming
out? So we're really hard hammerheading away at this game and trying to make it the most awesome shark RPG ever. We're not ready to announce a date, but we're pretty certain you're going to see it before the next PC gaming show.
Well, I hope we do, John. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start biting people. In fact, I'm quite hungry at the moment, so I think actually I'm going to find an audience member because you guys look tasty. So I'll see you in a bit. I'm just going to have a snack. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
О, привет, опять реклама. Для этого был монитор, теперь стул. Я уже на миксере сейчас.
You know, one of the absolute best parts about being sponsored by iWin for the PC Gaming Show is that I get to sit for this next segment and talk to you about Terraria. Terraria is one of the best-selling PC games of all time, selling almost 30 million copies. And part of the reason why it's maintained such popularity is the fact that the developers Relogic continue to add content, going from 250 items at release to now over 4,000. Let's take a look at their penultimate expansion coming up, Terraria Journey's End.
Дополнение для Террарии. Конец приключения. Любопытно. Типа добавили гольф. Прикольно. Бестиарий. Новый босс. Ну вот даже на миксере этот как его буферизируется. Или так и должно было быть.
The next title that we're going to be looking at is a game that is the spiritual successor to her story. It's called Telling Lies by Annapurna Interactive, and joining me to talk about it is game director Sam Barlow and actor-producer Logan Marshall Green. Welcome, gentlemen.
Nice to
be here.
Yeah.
Now, if you haven't played her story, you totally should. It's fantastic. I want to note, it is a game where you watch live interactive video in order to uncover what happened with a murder. What is it that's going on in Telling Lies? What's the premise?
So, like her story, Telling Lies is a game in which you watch video footage.
Это, короче, походу так и должно было быть, потому что в чате ругаются все, что верните Террарию, почему ее прервали.
Which contains secretly recorded, intimate and private conversations between our 4 characters. Something has gone terribly wrong, and it's up to you to figure out what and why.
It's time to take a look at some of the gameplay mechanics and see Telling Lies in action. Let's take a look.
Нет, это какая-то игра от создателей Her Story. Какой-то, видимо, очередной квест.
Once upon a time.
It's late. I gotta get her in the bath. I don't love you and I don't miss you. You already know too much. It's late. I gotta get her in the bath. All right. Love you. Love you.
I've only ever been in love once. It was with a girl I met when I was 18, but I was too young and naive to handle it properly. I guess I still carry a torch for it, which makes me an incurable romantic or underdeveloped emotionally. I'm a loyal friend.
Я так понял, что мы должны будем, как хакеры, изучать чужую жизнь, чтобы найти что-то. Любопытный концепт. Интересно выглядит.
Oh, Sam, I got some questions for you about what we've just seen. I mean, talk to me about the mechanics. I mean, I saw, you know, subtitles up, highlighting, and it was loading more video footage. What's going on?
So what we do in Telling Lies is we take all of the exploration you would have in a normal video game. So all that walking around in a 3D world.
Yeah.
And we apply that directly to the story, to the footage itself. So
То есть, типа, вместо того, чтобы путешествовать по миру и исследовать его, ты должен это видео, то есть база данных, где ты будешь искать кусочки видео, чтобы находить другие видео, которые тебе недоступны, но по контексту.
Well, I mean, you know, a lot of times with open world video games, they talk about, you know, the square kilometerage or miles in America. What's the sort of scope that we're talking about? Like, how many hours of footage is there?
So we got like over 10 hours of footage here.
Wow,
so
really?
It's a story that encompasses like 2 years.
10 часов
what I wanted to do with this one was,
видеоролика.
like I say, really embrace this idea of it being an open world game. You're free to explore and follow your curiosity. Just lose yourself in this story.
Yeah.
All the characters. It's this huge, messy, colorful story that we're trying to tell.
Well, I'm curious, Logan, as a performer in this kind of game, what is it like to actually try to have all the layers in there for each performance, also not knowing when a player is going to be seeing the specific footage you're performing?
Well, it's definitely a non-linear open world game, but our approach and Sam's approach was not unlike a movie or a TV show, and we had to understand it A to B. And so, for the most part, that's how we shot it. Obviously, when you're shooting a movie or a TV show, and in this case, a game, you're going to be shooting out of order. But we actually stayed pretty linear in how we approached the story. We went after it like all the other times we're actors. We just went after intention and what do we want, and we tried to make it as deep. You know, it's got a lot of scope. But we wanted to make it as deep as possible. And Sam is one of the best movie and TV directors I've worked with.
Внезапно оборвалась террария, и судя по комментам и по чатику,
Now, of course, I do want to stress to any of you who have not played Her Story. It's quick to play through. It's absolutely brilliant. Please check it out in the meantime. But we're, of course, waiting to find out, when can we play Telling Lies?
Very soon. Very soon, I promise. We'll have a date soon. Right now, you can go to Steam. You can wishlist it on Steam. We all love Steam. And yeah, very soon. We'll be showing a little bit more during E3, and the game will be out, very soon.
Fantastic.
Desperate to get it out there.
Yeah.
And people to play it.
As soon as humanly possible. Well, Sam Logan, thanks so much for joining me on stage. Once again, Telling Lies.
Нет, видишь, в чем прикол? Оно реально оборвалось.
On the balcony, Frankie's going to be talking to us about a game that my friends, year after year after year, keep telling me I have to play because of how much they've improved it. Frankie, what's going on with Warframe?
Well, one of my favorite parts of last year's show, aside from being upstaged by a giant duck, was getting a glimpse at the future of Warframe. And here with the latest look at the next expansion to the universe is Space Mum Rebecca Ford. So, chat, behave yourselves, please, because Mother's here. Now, Rebecca, what are we about to see?
We're going to take a look at an amazing trailer that our team has put together. A lot of our players have been waiting a year for a look at what we've been calling Railjack, so it's about time to, you know, see what we've been doing.
Сейчас покажут кораблики, где... Прикол в том, что в Warframe сейчас можно будет летать на кораблике в космосе. Я этот ролик уже видел. То есть не арквинги, которые вот эти крылышки, это большой полноценный корабль. Не, на самом деле выглядит любопытно. Я бы с удовольствием, наверное, Warframe погонял, если бы там не было столько всего, что надо делать одно и то же постоянно. Слишком уж много фарма там, к сожалению.
Rebecca, it must be so exciting to know that the fans have finally seen it, and you're clearly going all in on the epic space combat. So tell me about the new stuff that players are going to be able to experience.
I wasn't shaking before we started talking, and now I am because it's real, because, you know, Empyrean is what we're calling codename Railjack. It's basically taking the Space Ninja part of Warframe, sending it back up to space, bringing players that squad gameplay they know, taking the enemies like the Corpus and the Grineer, giving them their own Railjack to, you know, essentially explore the solar system with and take down the bad guys.
And when are fans going to get to see more?
Well, TennoCon is in London, Ontario. It's July 6th, and you can come watch it online on Twitch. We're going to be showing a lot more in our keynote for what Empyrean is.
Детали они покажут только на TennoCon, то есть специальная выставка Warframe.
What's the deal with that sweet-looking Necros Prime? How do I get my Tenno arms into it?
I cannot say that on live television, but you know, there are ways. But yeah, you just have to link your Warframe account to your Twitch account. If you watch 30 minutes of our Tenno live show, you can get it. But hopefully you stay for the whole hour because we got lots to show.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, and good luck with TennoCon on July 6th.
Thank you.
Okay, now we've seen some amazing stuff today, but nothing quite so gloriously strange as our next game. Developed by Brooklyn-based studio Feral Cat Den, it's an existential-based jazz odyssey set during the Big Bang. Yeah, it's actually blown my mind learning about this one. Buckle up, everyone, because we're about to get bonkers with Genesis Noir.
Очень концептуальная игра. А еще кто-то говорит, что Death Stranding непонятный. Я очень сомневаюсь. По-моему, Death Stranding очень понятный по сравнению с этим.
Genesis Noir, just beautiful, stylish art. The next game we're going to take a look at is the twist on the stealth genre. It's called El Hijo, where you play as a 6-year-old trying to escape a monastery and find your mother using toys and tricks to avoid monks. Let's take a look at this gorgeous spaghetti western-inspired project from studio Handy Games.
Уловки детские, чтобы сбежать из церкви и, точнее, из монастыря и найти свою мать. Любопытная игра.
El Hijo, once again, is the title of the trailer we
Baldur's
just saw.
Gate 3.
For our final guest tonight, please join me in welcoming from Larian Studios CEO Sven Vinke. And from Dungeons & Dragons at Wizards of the Coast, the creative director of Dungeons & Dragons, Mike Merles, to talk about Baldur's Gate 3.
Yay!
Yeah! Now, this was only just recently announced. How did this partnership come about?
We went to see Wizards of the Coast at the end of Divinity Original Sin 1.
Yeah.
That was back in 2014. And I tried to convince them back then that they should give us the Baldur's Gate 3 license.
Еще с 13-го года пытался убедить, чтобы им дали лицензию.
But we had a long chat about what the vision would be for the game. And then we kept on bumping into each other. And then suddenly in 2016, I get a phone call from Nathan Stewart, who's the big boss of Mike and the head of Dungeons & Dragons. He said, you need to come to Seattle right away. We're going to have dinner in a very shady restaurant. And he had this big stack of paper with him. And on it was Baldur's Gate 3. And in it was pretty much everything that we talked about. And he says, I'm going to present this to my board. Do you still want to do it? I said, yeah, of course I still want to do it. And then a couple of weeks later, we started negotiating. And here we are.
I mean, what does the Baldur's Gate franchise mean to you, Mike?
Oh, to me, it's the crown jewel of D&D computer games, right? I mean, for me personally, Baldur's Gate, the original one, was finally I had the chance to actually play a D&D campaign rather than having to run them for all my friends. So it means so much to us. Baldur's Gate, it's such fantastic storytelling, and it's so exciting to see it come to not only a new generation of gamers, but for the gamers who remember the 20 years it's been since the original, the first two in the series. So it's incredibly exciting. And for us, it really is. It's such an important part of the D&D mythos.
And we got a chance to see the trailer. Talk to me about some of the story elements, the world elements. What are things we're going to see in Baldur's Gate 3?
Well, we're only talking about what's in the trailer right now, but obviously you're going to go to the city, because you start with the city. You start outside of the city, actually. There's going to be
трансляция опять будет
very nasty. You are seeing in the trailer the process of ceremorphosis, as we call it. It's accelerated, so that's not normal.
Yeah.
And you're going to see a lot of iconic creatures, iconic characters, iconic places, and that's as far as we go.
I'm curious about some of the gameplay elements, because obviously, there's just been a big resurgence of Dungeons & Dragons, tons of broadcasts on Twitch. I mean, how do you translate some of the insane things that players want to do into, what has to be a structured computer game?
So we started with the player handbook, which is basically the basic rule set.
То есть они опираются на
5th edition.
На пятое издание Dungeons & Dragons.
We ported as much as we could to the video game. We looked at what worked really well. We looked at the things that didn't work that well because it is a video game. It was made for tabletop gaming. And so we started modifying those things, and then we had to add things on top of it, because if you play tabletop, you have a game master, and you say, well, I want to do this.
чтобы можно было играть на компьютере, потому что
компьютерные игры накладывают свои условия. So we had to add systems to make that possible within the game. But we've gone very, very far.
Yeah, I mean, can you give an example of like a crazy moment that a player might do that
Какой-нибудь пример, что игроки могут сделать что-то невероятное или
Well,
безумное?
let's say that we get into a fight because you ask a nasty question, I don't want to answer it. And I take the chair over there, I put it on fire, smash it on your head.
Взять стул, поджечь его, ударить по голове.
It's just an example, this is fine, we're just talking,
These are things that we have to put systems into the game for to do it, which are not necessarily going to be described inside of the book.
Interesting. And I mean, like, Mike, in terms of your role, speaking to Larian Studios, you have tons of data of all the sorts of things that players do. What's the sort of information that you provide in assistance?
Well, really what it comes down to is providing the story support. We think of Dungeons & Dragons, the universe of D&D. It's like a toy box for dungeon masters and players to go into and build their own stories. So working with Larian and working with Sven, a lot of it was just opening up that toy box and sharing it. And giving that kind of guidance, like I remember one of our first meetings, we just laid out a map of Baldur's Gate and the Sword Coast and asking a lot of questions, like what kind of story do you want to tell? Where do we want to go? What are the cool locations we want to put in a game like this? And then in terms of the system support, what does it mean in terms of the story
Sword of the Coast, какие истории можно рассказать,
so that if you have your favorite class and it's in the game, you really feel like you're taking on that role that you love so much.
То есть они обещают якобы глубокую проработку.
And we're going to talk in a moment about Baldur's Gate 3 release dates and whatnot, but we have a second game that we want to talk about on a new technology known as pencil and paper. I understand that there is a tabletop prequel coming for Baldur's Gate.
Exactly. So in Baldur's Gate, we think there's one saga, all the different games coming together to tell one grand story of the city. So on September 17th, we're releasing our next tabletop campaign, Baldur's Gate: Descent into Avernus.
Прикольно, то есть они выпустят приключения для D&D 5, готовое приключение, которое будет как приквел Baldur's Gate 3.
It's been about 100 years since the events of Baldur's Gate 2. Yeah. So this will give you a chance to check in on the city, to see what's going on, its current state, who the movers and shakers are. We also feature a complete levels 1 to 13 campaign that takes you from the mean streets of Baldur's Gate to the depths of hell itself. And sort of pose to the players a question: do you want to redeem Baldur's Gate or send it to damnation? So we're putting that right in players' hands to make that choice.
Well, I have to ask Sven, it's a question on a lot of people's minds. What can you talk to us about expected release timeframes?
So people have been waiting for it for a long time.
Yeah.
They're going to have to wait a little bit more when it's ready. We don't. This is the game that we want to play, so we want to make sure it's really, really good. And then when that's the case, then we'll release it.
Well, I know a lot of people have been waiting a long time, and I think I speak for a lot of people here when I say, take your time. If the Divinity Original Sin games are any indication of the quality, it's going to be fantastic and worth the wait. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining me on stage.
Блин, там же сказали геймплей.
Friend Mike, talking about Baldur's Gate 3.
Мы ничего не показали. Ну это неинтересно, но это же обидно.
Why are they leaving? Well, it's because the PC gaming show has officially concluded. Let's bring up on the stage the fantastic Frankie Ward. Come here, Frankie.
Hello.
В целом было довольно интересно. По сравнению с, допустим, той же Bethesda, это было хотя бы интересно смотреть. Ну что, ребят, какие впечатления? Через час 15 будет Ubisoft, там должно быть хорошо. У Ubisoft, по крайней мере, всегда хорошие панели, всегда интересно. Так что ждем вас через час 15, будет весело. Заодно пишите, как вам впечатление от PC Gaming Show.
Well, I do love a baby elephant, so definitely Planet Zoo, and slightly more awkwardly, then I also want to eat things. Maybe elephants included, so man-eater, of course.
I'm personally looking forward to Songs of Conquest, and as you heard...
Ну, в общем, они обсуждают, в принципе, между собой, так что особо ничего интересного. Ну что ж, это было интересно. Это было, если честно, по моему скромному мнению, лучше, чем Bethesda. Может быть, чуть хуже, чем Microsoft, хотя показали тоже довольно интересные вещи. Немножко обидно, что не показали ничего нового по Borderlands 3, хотя бы персонажи, их умения. Жалко, что не показали ничего по Baldur's Gate 3, хотя вначале проскакивала фраза, точно помню, геймплей. Но это уже детали на самом деле. В целом было довольно интересно. Надеюсь, вам тоже понравилось. В общем, встретимся через час в 22:20 и будем смотреть Ubisoft. Я вот только сейчас, секундочку, хочу уточнить, сегодня что-то еще будет добавочное или нет. Так, конференция. В 4 утра еще будет Square Enix. Но Ubisoft точно будет. Square Enix, наверное, тоже. Хотя до 4 утра я сдохну, наверное. Ну ладно, это же детали. Ладно, всем спасибо, всем пока.